welcome to Trustee Talk. I'm Dick Murgatroyd, and we thank you for joining us today. And our guest today is Dee Stone, who is the Vice President of the Anderson Township Trustees. Always good to see you, and we have lots of good stuff to talk about.
We do. It's good to see
you. On this edition,
you.
yeah, it really is. I mean, it seems like you were just here, but it wasn't. You weren't.
I think I was.
Well,
it does seem like I was just here.
Yeah, I know.
But it's been 3 months.
It has been 3 months. Yeah.
It goes fast.
Time goes by very quickly. I think that I keep looking at the calendar, and I'm halfway through. We're shooting this in October, and we're halfway through October. I mean,
November. When people watch this, it'll be almost Thanksgiving.
It'll be almost Thanksgiving, and then we'll be Christmas, and then we'll be.
Then we'll be in 2018. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's don't get that far. Lots of things to talk about today, though. I think we wanted to talk a little bit about the recycling program.
Yes.
Which is underway. And I guess, how's it going?
The recycling's going well. As you know, 6 months ago, we offered to our township residents that they could start a recycling at their home. It used to be if you're a customer of Rumpke, you could have recycling, but you had to pay extra for it. Now there's no extra charge. So it's been great. We've increased our recycling by 21%.
Wow, that's very good.
So it's going very, very well. And anyone out there who is a Rumpke customer already, if they're not already recycling and they're interested, they can call Rumpke and they'll bring out the big bin or the little red toter things, and you can start recycling. And it's just so nice to be able to offer that to our community and really increase our recycling. And that's the beauty of it, is like, not only is there no extra charge, but we've increased our recycling as a community. So.
Well, I think, you've made it easier for them to do it. I think that's the key.
It's way easier.
It's much easier than.
It's nice to have. I got my big new bin delivered, so it's awesome.
Did you?
You
really?
just come out and there it is, and just start throwing the stuff in. And there is a number if they want to call to get their bin. It's 800-582-3107. 800-582-3107, and Rumpke will bring you your bin or your big toter. So. Yeah.
So and then they pick up once a week?
Once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, once a week.
Yeah.
So, and as a result of that, we have the recycling area out on Beachmont Avenue, out by the fire station. So we've, condensed that a little bit, and we're doing surveys. We just did one recently and see, okay, are we going to keep all of those recycling bins there, make it a little smaller? If more people are recycling them from their home, then maybe we don't need as many of the big bins that we have there. So we're kind of keeping an eye on that, and maybe we can save some cost in that area if everyone starts recycling at home. So,
I mean, I guess, would there be still things that they wouldn't be able to maybe recycle at home that they can take to that site?
Pretty much everything you can take there is what you can recycle at home.
Okay.
Like we don't take up there, we don't take mattresses, or we don't take anything like that. Those you would have to find another place, but yeah.
Okay,
so,
well that's good.
Yeah.
Good news. It's coming along well, because in fact I thought about you a little off our list, but the senior report in the Insight, this Anderson Insight here, had a nice report about the senior center and how well it's doing and how many people are using it.
The senior center is going very well.
I mean, it's going very well.
Very well.
It's really taking off. Yeah.
And actually, and there's a survey that will be going out soon on that to all current senior center members, just to kind of get a feel for them of what they like, anything else they want to add. We're just trying to get a feel for where it is now and if we need to make any improvements. But the seniors seem very happy. There's a lot of activities going on. It's open every day from 9 till 2. Lunch is served, lunch for $1. So it's a very, very nice service for our citizens to be able to have that.
And it looks like the numbers are growing.
The numbers are definitely growing.
Of people that are taking advantage of it and using it, and they're doing some little side trip things and stuff like that.
Yeah, they take trips from there, and like I said, offer the lunches, offer the classes. There's a watercolor class I sat in on one day, and these are talented people, but you don't have to know how to do it when you go in there. It's just it's people sitting around a big table, working at their own pace, doing watercolors. And what's great about it is you can be sitting next to someone as a new person that has a lot of experience, and they will guide you. It's the interaction, which is great. Yeah, it's like So, and then there's dancing classes, and of course there's the bridge. I think there's bridge out there twice a week, and we have a ping pong table now that we just bought with a grant that we got. So it's looking great, and the place looks great. The township invested some more money into the facility, repainting and just updating of the restrooms and things. So looks nice.
Well, that's good, though. I mean, I was glad to see that, because that just caught my eye when I was going through that Insight magazine. But congratulations, because that, I know, what started out slow, and everybody was wondering how it was going to go and how it was going to prosper. But
it's funny how some things work out. It's like we were, are we going to be able to do this? And now it seems like, at least what we're hearing from the members, is it's better than ever. So we're pleased with that result.
I think that's the impression I was getting too. That it's much better than it was. So that's, well, and you know what? It's a great asset to the community, and really a plus for seniors. I mean, just having somewhere to go, and things are going on, some things are happening. Because so many of them, there's not much for them to be able to do, and especially if they live alone and living at home. There's not a lot of opportunities where they can go out and mingle and do things of that sort, and still have, and I'm sure they make a lot of new friends in the process.
Yes.
And that, so that's good. I'm happy to hear that. Another thing we want to talk a little bit about today is the progress that's being made on the heroin issue. I saw again in Insights that the number of calls that the police are making are down. In that one report that they did, the statistics as far as the fire and rescue runs were concerned for 2017 are about almost half of what they were in 2016. So,
which is good news.
Which is really
good news. We're still, trying to, reach out there and do what we can as a township. I mean, this is an epidemic that's in the whole Southwest Ohio, Northern Kentucky area.
Heavy.
I mean, it's here, unfortunately. So we do have an Anderson Township Citizens Committee on Heroin that meets the first Tuesday of the month. Here at the Anderson Center at 7 p.m. or second Tuesday of the month. Let me step back. Second Tuesday of the month here at the Anderson Center. And it's just a citizens group of people that are interested in this issue, feel like, what can I do? If you want to be involved, it's open to anyone in the community, even surrounding communities. We have people from Mount Washington, people from Newtown. I mean, this is the whole area, not just, we have people from West Claremont that are involved. So, and we are doing on November 14th, we will be doing a Narcan demonstration. And people can come and actually get a Narcan kit if you feel like you might need one, if you're a family member, or you're in the industry where you might own a business and, want to have one just as a backup. So we will be doing that demonstration. I think that'll be a good,
which is good
thing for people to see. Right. So we're just doing what we can. We're starting slow. We've done a couple things. We did a big forum last spring, I believe, or maybe it was in the fall, at Nagel, and we brought a lot of people in. And then we're just trying to build on that. But we'd love to have more people come and attend. And then, as you know, on ACTV, Shane has been doing some great interviews with addicts, and those are taking off. He recently interviewed a guy named Brandon Novak, who is a MTV star and a professional skater, and apparently within the first day or first few days, he had 130,000 views, which is amazing.
Which is pretty good.
So, and he's done, he's interviewed people from all walks of life. Those are all on ACTV if people want to go and look at those. And I would suggest they do, because you start seeing the stories of these addicts and you understand what addiction looks like. I mean, I know there's a lot of people think, addicts, why are we doing anything for them? It's because it's somebody's son, it's somebody's daughter, it's somebody's aunt, somebody's uncle, somebody's mom, dad, whatever. And it affects people from all income levels, all ages. I was in a meeting last night, and they said recently they had an 80-year-old that was, had overdosed. So it's all ages. So it's something we need to look at, and if people are involved, they can, like I said, look at the ACTV, Shane's interviews, or come to our meeting on the second Tuesday.
Shane's did a great job, and the thing, he's really has people from, as you said, every walk of life. There's not just one type of person that is susceptible to this addiction, and it's people, people, neighbors. I mean, it could be anybody.
Oh, for sure.
That are addicted, and so if people, he's managed to capture a lot. He's worked hard on it all year long, or I guess a couple of years, but to see that, just to know that that's, and you guys are part of that, responsible for that, because this ACTV is what the trustees
fund it, right?
You fund it.
We do.
But the service that he's providing is amazing. That service, just for people, if they just would sit and look at those and just realize how easy it is.
Yeah.
For people to fall into that not that they don't go into it. Many purposely, they fall into it and are captives of it, and it's
correct.
Very hard to.
It can be as simple as a work injury.
Yes.
A work injury. You've hurt your back. You've been prescribed some kind of opiates, and the next thing you know, you have an addiction problem. So. Do
you all feel that you're making progress? There's so much. I know there's so many efforts out there that are being made by all kind of groups and that are trying to deal with it. I mean, I know in Northern Kentucky it's just a huge problem, and they're doing all kind of stuff that they can do. And I guess in that process, do you feel like you're starting to see some? I
think
results?
We are, because I think we're seeing a lot more collaboration at a county level and a regional level. So I do think, the awareness is, just having the awareness is the first step, that it is even a problem. And once we get that awareness, you need to, start, having programs, the education, harm reduction, treatment, all those things. We're going to need some resources to do all those pieces. But the steps are starting to be put in place. But there's still a long, long way to go. And a lot of it is going to take funding, unfortunately. It's going to take money to do some of these things. Well, and that needs to come from, the federal level, the state level.
Right.
Unfortunately, at the local level, it's hard to do this. And we are fighting it at the local level just by the Narcans. Luckily, we've gotten a grant for all of that. It's at this point, but if we can keep those grants continue, we'll be good. But if those go away, then we need to step up.
Well, because no one is prepared. I think no entity, especially in like the township or even cities, are really flush with any kind of money that they can suddenly find a pot full of money that they can devote to something like this as much as they want to. I think education's huge. I think there's, that's a start, but the thing is, like I said, it's all ages,
right?
That are involved in this. So even if hopefully, I think they're probably doing a lot of schools, I hope, and that are trying to, help these kids understand, and hopefully they're listening. But there's a lot of people, like as you mentioned earlier, the lady that was an older lady that was
right,
involved, had become an addict, and that's just nobody on purpose. It's just happened.
Right.
Right.
So
it's got to be frustrating in many ways, but on the other side, I think everybody's trying to do something.
Everybody is, and if we keep working at it, I think we can curb it, but it's going to take a lot of work on a lot of people's part, a lot of awareness of the entire community to see, because when issues come up or solutions are presented, people need to keep an open mind of, why are we doing this? We're doing it because we have an epidemic that we need to fight. So.
Exactly, and I think but I think it's encouraging that you saw the calls, at least by the
EMS, that is encouraging.
Is encouraging that that's going down and not up. So that means something's going on, something good's going on. I think too, if people are aware of someone that perhaps is a victim, that they're able to either, if they can't help them directly, maybe.
And I think also, I think it's, I mean, there's people in our community that it is impacting their families, and I think we need to get over the stigma of not talking about it.
Absolutely.
Because it could, I mean, and it is. I have friends whose, sons or daughters have become addicted to opioids, and it's a horrible thing to watch, but they need someone, they need that support.
Yeah.
They're the family dealing with it, and they also need to support. And they need to feel like they need to be comfortable talking about it so they can help others.
Yes.
There is a certain stigma that we just need. It's like, oh, it could be any of us. Don't think because it hasn't impacted you yet that it won't.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's hard for some people to grasp. That they think, well, we're beyond that, or can't happen to us, and then
you could be one injury away.
Yeah.
One
Exactly.
car wreck away, where you just get a bad back injury, like I said earlier, and you're off to the races. So
well, hopefully it'll continue to get better, and Shane's videos will certainly, I think, be the ones that he's done have been spectacular, and these people have been very open, very honest in their conversations,
which has
with
been
him.
great. I mean, very open.
Yeah,
and they're with sharing their stories, which is wonderful. I mean, that's, if you touch one or two people with sharing your story, that's one life you could save.
Exactly, and you got to always think that way too.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Sometimes we think too much in large groups of trying to, solve the problem by large numbers, but if you start by just solving it for one at a time, you're doing it. You're doing the job. So.
Sometimes it's just about one.
You have to be happy.
The power
about
of
that.
one.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now I know we have coming up, as we look ahead to 2018, and I'm not going to say this right.
No, go ahead.
Well, what we decided was Quasqui Bicentennial.
Bicentennial. But if anyone knows the pronunciation, feel free to call us.
Really?
The Quasqui Bicentennial, which is the 225th anniversary of Anderson Township. It's exciting.
And I've been involved in bicentennials, sesquicentennials, and centennials. When I saw that, I'm looking, and I tried my best to find that word somewhere to see how to pronounce it, and I could never find it. Even Google, who is supposed to know everything.
Know everything, that's right.
And I asked Google, and Google gave me everything but that word.
Well, our editor, Nancy Kane, I'm sure that's the right word. If Nancy put it in there, I think that's probably right.
And we need to get Nancy to tell us how to say it.
That's right.
So what kind of things, I guess, early stages?
Early stages we're planning, and if people will have ideas, and we're still collecting ideas. I mean, it's going to be 2018, so by the time people see this, we'll be, we are all obviously planning, but one of the things we're doing, which actually involves ACTV again, is historical narratives. If people have a story that they've been in Anderson Township for many, many years, or their family grew up here and they were early settlers or things like that, those stories, we can videotape those, and we'll be sharing those, which will be interesting. I think people love the storytelling. It will be, yeah. Then we're planning different things, probably different things every month. Like we've changed. There's a new logo. It's not a new logo. We've just added the 225th anniversary to our logo, and we'll use that for next year and then probably the following year. Then, we're trying to do everything we normally do, we'll have a little twist to the 225th. So, and I think we're probably planning some kind of community celebration for March. We'll get more information out on that because that's technically the date was March. So. But anything we do, next year we'll have at 225th. The historical room here at the Anderson Center, we'll probably be, having special things there. And they are open, the Anderson Historical Room here at the Anderson Center, on Tuesdays from 6 to 9 and Sundays and Wednesdays from 1 to 4. And if you haven't been in that room, it's fascinating. They have a great collection of stuff. And, the people that, are monitoring the room, they are a wealth of historical information. And then there's a book that's coming out about Anderson Township, and this will be, people have probably already read about this. and the new issue of Insights magazine that's all about Anderson Township.
Great.
It's you know, it's gone to press. It'll be out just in time because the Anderson Historical Society will be celebrating their 50th anniversary next year.
Wow.
So this book and, you know, the celebrations we have, it'll be a big year. Not quite as big as our 200th, but there'll be a lot going on. So
well, that's still pretty good, though.
Yeah.
And now, and I think that, isn't there a committee that's working on
there
this?
is a committee, but we're open to new people that want to be involved, because for some of these events we'll need volunteers, or, you know, we're still looking for ideas. If someone's out there thinking, wow, I think this is a great idea, bring it forward and we'll see what we can do. It goes on all year.
They can get to you to...
They can email me.
Okay.
Yeah, they can email me, or they can email Steve Sievers. He's kind of heading that up. He's our township assistant administrator, and say what their idea is, and then we'll find the right person to take that. So,
good.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be kind of exciting. That'll be exciting. Anderson's had such... This year, I mean, there's been so much going on as far as just lots of activity just in the infrastructure of Anderson has been amazing. I mean, you know, I don't think I've ever been in a community that had so many things happening. Beachmont Avenue alone is like a never-ending.
It is.
You know, something's being done, something new's being added, something's being, you know, somebody closes, another person. I think the Colonel Sanders is going to be. That's going to be Hortons.
Tim Hortons, I think, right?
I think,
yeah.
yeah. Then I see work going on Wendy's.
The old Wendy's.
To the car wash. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm not sure either, and I wish I knew. I need to ask that
something
question.
Happening.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of work going on the one side of the street. That, I don't know what they're doing, but with the trucks and that they're digging holes, putting things in or whatever. And then, of course, the Wolf Angle, that corner is starting to really
That's going
shape.
up. I mean, that is definitely taking shape. There's
amazed.
A wall there. Yeah, it's like,
I mean,
wow.
When I went by a couple weeks ago, which had been a month ago now, but I mean, all of a sudden there's a wall.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking but it's been an exciting time. So, I mean, Anderson's got a lot to celebrate and currently, but then when you look back to the 225 years, that's pretty neat also. It should be a big year next year, 2018.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this year we're in November as people are watching this show. I guess you know the year's about over. As you look back on the year, did you get everything done that you hoped you would do? Or
I think we're on track. You know, there's some things that we've been talking about that haven't moved forward as fast as I would like, but we're still discussing them. You know, so no, I think we're good. We have accomplished a lot. I mean, just like the recycling. I mean, we did the electric aggregation. That was this year. So we've definitely done a lot. The Veterans Memorial. The Veterans Memorial is, you know, we've been raising money for that as a township. There's been a lot of people involved in that. We dedicated that this year, which looks awesome. It really is. If you haven't seen it yet, stop over and see it. I mean, that's been, you know, going on for many years. And there's really, a lot, you know, Russ Jackson, a previous trustee, did a lot to help that. The American Legion Post 318, those guys have been collecting money for that for many, many years. So, and it's here. So, and you know, my fellow trustees.
They did a nice job on it.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really, really nice, and it's just a nice addition to our township, and nice to honor our veterans. So yeah, so yes, a lot has been accomplished. Do we still have more to do? Of course. You know, there's always things that we're looking at, and we'll get them done. But
well, the center has improved. I mean, twofold. I don't know if it's twofold, but I mean, the center, Anderson Center, is just,
the town center.
Oh
yeah,
gosh,
the movie theater and
the
Sky Zone and the Bar Louie's, and actually I think there's a new candle store that's going in there. So there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, some new restaurants, and then with that out parcel that Kroger's doing there on the corner that we're just talking about, and then that back way out of Kroger's, the road leading out the back way next to the pharmacy there, that will be opening again soon, which will be awesome.
Which will
make it much easier to get in and out. I know that's kind of been a bottleneck and frustrating for people that always have to come in off of Beachmont, but that way will open again. So, Yeah, it's progress. Unfortunately, when you do construction,
But it's all good.
Difficult.
It's all good progress.
It is great progress.
That's the good thing about it, because it's as I said, I don't know of any place I've ever been where I've seen so much happening
all at once.
All at once.
That's right.
It's kind of like
all at once.
All of a sudden, open the door open,
Yeah.
and all this thing is going on, and the intersection is working.
The intersection is working. The intersection is done. I know. I think people are now probably getting used to it. If you drive up and down Beachmont, if for some reason you don't get over to this part of the township a lot, you may still be confused. But no, it's working, and accidents are down, which was the main point of that whole thing. That was one of the highest intersections in the whole county for accidents, and that is way down. So it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, and they've tweaked it this summer. I mean, they've added some different lighting.
Better signage.
Better signage.
People know that they can turn right on red, that kind of thing, and when certain lights are lit. But people are starting to understand what the signage means and what the signals mean.
It's actually very, very smooth and very simple. I mean, it is once you kind of understand it and get used to it, and it really is. It's pretty much without any incidents to speak of. So, and the streetscapes are coming along, and like I said, there's a lot of great things happening.
Yeah.
With everybody, and the end of the year is near.
Right. Speaking of the end of the year, one of the things I did want to mention is we're looking at the end of the year. We're always looking for volunteers for our committees. We have a lot of committees, and we're looking for volunteers in the community that want to be on one of our committees. If they do, they can email Steve Sievers, and with an email or a letter, again, our assistant administrator, to say, I'm interested. If you go online to the Anderson Township website, you can see the full list of committees. We have the Senior Center Advisory Committee, Betterment and Beautification, Street Committee, Economic Development. There's a whole list. And if any of those interest you, the deadline was the end of October, but if you're just now seeing this and just now finding out about it, if you get it in quickly, we can see what we can do. But
well, I mean, I think it's good when people want to participate.
I do too.
And want to have a voice and want to be heard in what's going on. No better way to do it. And because of the fact that you operate with a very small staff, and so those people, the volunteers, really become very important part of the entire process, because they're able to participate, and you get a lot of input from people like that.
You get input, and you get buy-in if people are involved in the planning, and like I said, like we talked about with this 225th anniversary, we're going to need volunteers for that.
Lots.
Lots. Yeah.
I did a bicentennial and a centennial over on the Kentucky side, and let me tell you, I mean, it takes a lot of people to do it. It does. And people that are and now there's work involved, so it isn't just a lot of fun, but there's a lot of work involved. But in order to get it done, you can't do it with just a small group of people.
You can't.
It takes and it should be an exciting year.
Yeah, it should be. We're looking forward to it.
And I always tell everybody, don't forget this magazine, because this is the July issue.
By the time they view this, they should have the October issue.
But anything you want to know about Anderson Township and what's going on is in this magazine. So don't forget. Everybody gets it.
Everybody gets it, and it's so well done. And there's lots of pictures.
It really is.
And the new issue, there's lots of historical pictures, but gearing up for the 225th anniversary. There's going to be a book about, as I mentioned, about Anderson Township coming out. So it's exciting stuff.
It really is. Yeah. It is good. Well, so are you. And I thank you. We're about out of time. And so it's always a pleasure talking to you. And I thank you for your service. And this has been your first year, so you've really
This is my second full
year.
Your second
full year. That's right.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I know. It went fast, didn't it?
Just started.
I felt like it. No, I'm into my whole second year now.
Well, thank you for everything that you do. And really, it's an exciting place to live.
It is.
No question about it. We thank you for joining us. and sharing your day with us, and we hope that the rest of your day goes well. We invite you to join us for our next edition of the Trustee Talk here on ACTV, and I believe our guest will be Josh Girth, who is the president of the Anderson Township Trustees, and we look forward to seeing him. In the meantime, I'm Dick Murgatroyd on behalf of the Anderson Township Trustees, the township staff, and our producer-director, Shane Reinert. We do want to wish you all and your family a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. You take care. Thanks.